What if I told you that the same woman who built an empire off a Grammy-winning hit, a reality show, and even a leaked video turned toy business had been quietly living a completely different story behind closed doors? Tonight, we're digging into the real truth behind Kandi Burruss' marriage. Yes, the very truth she's only now beginning to speak about, the struggles she kept hidden, and the moment that shifted everything. Stay with me, because what unfolds next is nothing like what the headlines suggested. For years, fans have viewed Kandi Burruss as one of the most accomplished women to ever rise out of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's the mogul, the hit-making songwriter, the powerhouse who turned nearly every chance into an empire, starting from her early days with Escape to running restaurants, boutiques, and multiple brands. Kandi's grind has always been unmatched. But behind the glamour, the Grammys, and the constant Bravo cameras lies another story, one she hasn't been quick to share. A story of love, loyalty, and the intense pressure of being married while living under a spotlight that never, ever dims. When Kandi married Todd Tucker back in 2014, it appeared to be the perfect match. Their fairy tale wedding was televised for millions. The chemistry between them was obvious, and fans rooted for their romance. They were seen as a couple beating the odds, blending families, building businesses, and rising above the constant reality TV chaos. But as the years passed, cracks slowly started to show, and now Kandi is finally speaking on it.
In a recent interview, she didn't soften anything. She admitted that marriage hasn't been simple at all the long filming days. Nonstop travel and endless business projects have strained their relationship in ways most fans never even imagined. So when she said, "It's been tough lately," really tough, it stunned everyone who believed Kandi and Todd were completely unshakable. This video goes deep into what Kandi actually revealed about her marriage, the tension, the turning point, and the truth about how success can push even the strongest love to its limit. We'll dive into the challenges that nearly ripped them apart, what Todd had to say in response to Kandi's confession, and the emotional reason Kandi insists she's choosing to fight for her marriage, even when walking away might have been the easier option. Because if you've ever looked at Kandi Burruss and assumed she had everything perfectly put together, you may want to hear what she just admitted. But to fully understand what she's facing now, we need to return to how it all started. Before the cameras, before the tension, back to the moment Kandi and Todd's love story first began taking shape in a place no one expected, long before the headlines, the shows, and the public debates over their relationship. Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker were simply two hardworking people chasing dreams in the entertainment world. What many forget is that their story didn't begin with glitz or lavishness. It started on set, behind the scenes, where relationships rarely survive. Todd wasn't famous when he met Kandi. He was a production manager on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, known for his professionalism and easygoing personality. He wasn't trying to be in the spotlight. Kandi, by contrast, was already a force, a multi-talented singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur who had spent much of her adult life in front of the world. Their connection began quietly, no major gestures, no headlines, just two people bonding over ambition, shared values, and a mutual love for hard work. Todd has often said that what caught his attention wasn't Kandi's fame, but her work ethic. "She works harder than anyone I've ever met," he once said in an early interview. And for Kandi, Todd was refreshing, grounded, genuine, and someone who could make her laugh like she hadn't in a long time. By the time fans noticed the spark between them, their bond had already grown strong. But dating during a reality show isn't simple, especially one as dramatic as RHOA. Producers had opinions. Castmates chimed in. Fans were watching every move, and every word could be twisted into another storyline. Still, Kandi followed her heart. From the very start, she made it clear that Todd was someone special, someone who understood her world and respected her boundaries. And when their relationship eventually went public, the reactions were mixed. Some fans absolutely loved seeing them together, calling them one of the most genuine couples on reality TV. Others, however, were skeptical, questioning Todd's intentions or wondering whether Kandi's success would eventually stir up tension between them. But despite all the noise, they kept moving forward. In 2014, their wedding was broadcast in a Bravo special titled Kandi's Wedding, and it was nothing less than magical. The extravagant celebration, packed with family, friends, and fellow housewives, symbolized not only their love, but their commitment to proving that a relationship could survive in the middle of public pressure. Still, anyone watching closely could already pick up on the early storm clouds forming. Kandi's mother, Mama Joyce, was outspoken about her concerns. She questioned Todd's intentions, worried about his financial situation, and even accused him of being with Kandi for fame. It caused tension not only between Kandi and her mother, but also between Kandi and Todd. Try to imagine beginning a marriage when your own family doesn't fully support your partner. That alone is enough to strain any relationship. But Kandi stood her ground. She defended her husband, insisting Todd cared for her because of who she was, not because of what she had. And for a while, it looked like love was winning. Together, they built businesses, raised their children, and attempted to keep their blended family strong despite the cameras and constant commentary. Their dynamics stood out from what audiences were used to seeing on reality TV. They weren't overly flashy, nor were they scandal-driven. They were relatable. They argued about time, priorities, intimacy, work, the same things real couples everywhere struggle with daily. And maybe that relatability is what made fans root for them even harder. But as the years continued, that same relatability began exposing deeper cracks, trying to be business partners, co-parents, and reality stars all at the same time began to blur the lines between love and responsibility. The boundaries that once held their relationship together slowly began to fracture under the weight of expectations. The truth is, success can cut both ways. And for Kandi and Todd, every milestone, every business win, every TV opportunity, every new venture came with an unspoken cost. Less time together, less emotional connection, less intimacy. By the time they reached their 9th anniversary, both openly admitted things had shifted. In public, they smiled, supported each other, and kept their brand strong, yet behind the scenes, the tension was becoming impossible to ignore. Kandi's career was skyrocketing again, with Broadway shows, restaurant expansions, and music projects. And Todd felt the distance growing. That's why Kandi's recent confessions suddenly make sense. When she finally decided to talk openly about her marriage, she didn't present some polished picture of perfection. She shared the truth, the kind of truth most couples are afraid to say out loud. She said, "We love each other, but marriage is work. And sometimes that work gets hard." That honesty shook fans deeply. But what stunned people even more wasn't what she admitted, it was what she revealed right after. Kandi didn't just talk about the struggles. She exposed the one issue that nearly split her marriage in two. And that's where things become personal. For years, Kandi Burruss was the woman who could handle everything. A Grammy-winning songwriter, a reality TV force, a business powerhouse with restaurants, brands, and a loyal audience who admired her as the true definition of booked and busy. But what happens when being unstoppable begins to chip away at the very thing you're fighting so hard to protect? Your marriage.